Yo, another week, another hip hop podcast. As always, it's your boy Mayron. I'm here with the wonderful, the illustrious, and sort of green, Bria.
Hey, ooh, green. I like that. Keep me green, Lord. Hello everyone. It's Bria.
How you feeling, man?
I think so. The deep side just took. I mean, today's a weird day. It's election day, quote unquote. I don't know if we're gonna find out who wins today, but it's election day, so I mean, I started drinking wine about an hour ago, I want to say, so.
What's interesting is everyone's gonna know that we were talking about the best women rappers on November 3rd, 2020, when the world was ending. Yeah. It's a good way to end the world, you know?
If anything, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, because I was like, do I have the energy to do this? And I was like, wait, I honestly wouldn't have the energy to do anything other than this. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, like what? So yeah, I mean, it's a wild time, and if the world ends, I'm happy to be doing this. And, I'm just going to say I love my niggas. I love you. We're going to be all right regardless. Shit.
Exactly. So I think we did an episode on the best women MCs in the game. Probably, I want to say, towards the beginning of this podcast, and we released. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the same names we talked about then are still relevant now. Mm-hmm. And it's also really relevant now that women are still very much running the game.
For sure. And I was going to say, like, all the ones that we talked about last time are in this, but now we have so many more that have just, like, taken this year and have made it theirs. And I'm so proud of these women. I'm happy.
Yeah. Here we are a year later, and it's still just completely dominated. And it's great, right? Because there are even more lanes now for women to come in, and there's been a lot of progress made, and it's really great to see.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. It's just like all the lanes that are being opened up, all the like quote unquote genres of hip hop that are like expanding because of all these women, and all this bread that's being made.
It's really great, and I always want to give a shout out to like the past, like obviously, shout outs to MC Lyte, Roxanne Shante, Lil Kim,
Foxy
Brown, all the people that
Queen,
whose shoulders people stand on, and Nicki, right, and Nicki Minaj too,
and facts,
and just like this long this long lineage of women in hip hop, and Lauren, of course, and their history is not to be erased, right? I think people they're just like noticing now that women can rap, and women have been rapping since the beginning of hip hop, since day one.
Thank you.
And they deserve their big ups, and they deserve their place in history as an important and integral part to building what we have now.
Facts.
But yeah, just always want to get out the way, because there's always some old head yelling, well, you don't know enough about MC Lyte. I'm like, I do. It's just not.
We start from the hip and the hip and the hip to the hop to the. No, we respect the hip hop niggas. I just took that completely from Jesus. That's my shit now. Like hip hop heads in my brain are hip hop.
Exactly.
Nah, we got y'all.
Exactly.
And the elitist rap nigga. Shout out to Dave. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday to Dave. This is a day for him. In so many ways.
I bet.
But it's been a long time, I would say, since Nicki, and that's not that long, but long in the sense of music long, since we've had a woman who's dominated rap the way Meg has.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
And this has definitely been her year. And I think I wanted to start there, because I think that's the first name you think of when people say woman in rap in 2020.
For sure. I mean, yeah, this has definitely been Megan's year. I think kind of before that, I mean, Cardi B definitely had her moment. And, I think the only reason why she's probably not going to be talked about throughout this podcast is just because she hasn't really been dropping music.
I haven't heard anything from her in a while.
Outside of features. She does a lot of features with a lot of artists, especially a lot of like Spanish artists. And I really appreciate how much she's been like putting on like that platform. But yeah, outside of Cardi, when you think of lady rap, female rap, when you think of rap, period, when you think of new like hip hop news, honestly,
think of Megan.
You think of Megan. Like Megan has become water cooler talk, like water cooler conversation. She has
she's crossed over. She's crossed over,
exactly.
And like also like not just her music, but I think her image, the way like
facts,
she's portrayed now, and like the media machine behind her has caught up to like her skill, right? And there was some debate as to whether or not, like, I think it was like BET who was giving the Rapper of the Year award. I don't know what the award was. I ain't watched the award show.
It was the BET Hip Hop Awards, I want to say.
Right,
and Hip Hop Awards, and like Artist of the Year, whatever. It was between Lil Baby, I guess, and Megan, as far as who people felt like should have won.
I think you got to give that to Meg just off the strength that even without, like, her album released very early in the year, but even not even just considering the album, but just the singles and the what was it? Not SNL. What was she on? The Late Night Show, where she did that one, really bad performance.
Oh yeah, that was a different performance. I was gonna say, but she was just on SNL. That's not where she did that whole. She did another and a different like Black women empowerment speech. But yeah, it was another award show. It was definitely, to my knowledge, like a much smaller scale.
But those award shows, like, I don't even remember. Like, I remember her being on SNL, but I remember her performance, not SNL, because I don't care about anything else but Meg, which is how big like she's gotten.
Right.
And it's kind of the point I'm driving at. It's like the performances themselves, when she gets on TV, now moves the needle. It means something, right? And it's been a while since we've even had a rapper do that, right? Yeah,
facts. And I mean, and I do want to like give props a little bit, because I do feel like I see the arguments as far as like, comparably him having a similar year as far as like, I guess, leaning more into his activism and like using his music to reflect that and stuff like that. But just, yeah, as far as like crossing over and transcending more into like pop culture, there is not an artist, period, male or female, that has done that to a higher degree than Megan. Like,
and was the Beyonce song this year?
I was just gonna say, like, she had a viral song with Beyonce that had its whole viral dance and whatever. She was Times whatever People of the Year. Little Baby was not. You know what I'm saying? It's not shade, but it's like
it's not.
It's not shade whatsoever. But it's like, yeah, Megan is in time. She's honestly become bigger than hip hop. She is hip hop, and that's where her stature lies. But she's become a bigger conversation, or become a conversation outside of hip hop culture. That's why she's had the year that she's had.
And to a lot of white people, you're right. She is what hip hop is right now, right? She's the rapper that they'll name. Right. And like, yeah, and that's kind of it's kind of amazing, because she's opened up the lane for a bunch of people that I think didn't necessarily come after her, but are now gaining more attention because of her.
Facts.
Particularly I wanted to point out, because I know you enjoy Flo Milli. I think Flo Milli's success is related to the fact that Meg has blown up in the way Meg has blown up.
Yeah, I mean, I agree to that for sure. And one of the things that I like so much about all these lady rappers that I've been seeing come up a lot more is like their authenticity. And that's what I like the most about Flo Milli. She is an authentic ass bitch, a real ass bitch. And like, yeah, in that regard or whatever, I think that's part of the reason why Megan grew so much in popularity, and we could like love her and feel like we, because everyone feels like they know her. Everyone feels like she's a real ass person. And that's why I like Flo Milli. And she really reflects that in her music. And I was actually listening to her earlier today just to kind of like refresh myself on all my favorite artists that I've been listening to. But to me, she's one of the most relatable. Mm-hmm. I think she is like, as far as like, this is who I am. I don't really give a fuck. Like, these bitches really be mad. And this bitch can flow. Like,
it's in her name for a reason, right?
Like, dead ass. Like, I was appreciating how many different like flows and cadences she was like using, and even like for each song, when like switch it up, like you never got tired. I never got tired, and I never found myself looking at my phone to like skip the song or change the song. Through
she's entertaining and charismatic.
Entertaining
right?
as hell.
Right, and that I think is sometimes missing in a lot of. So the Baby was entertaining, charismatic for about an album and a half.
Yeah.
Right, and like. It was so refreshing, because we had a string of rappers specifically in that lane of music that were not entertaining nor charismatic.
Right.
Flo Milli to me represents, not necessarily comparing her to the Baby, but it's the same sort of like, she has charisma, she has entertainment value that
she has personality.
That I can listen to along with the music, which makes it interesting and makes her songs not skippable. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and it makes her stand out. And I mean, just like you said about like the Lil Baby and the kind of that generation of rappers, I feel like kind of the same thing can be said for this like new wave of like industry driven lady rappers that are more like industry backed, and like it doesn't, their personality seems to be so molded and so crafted to be like, yeah, this is my thing, like this is what I do, this is what I talk about. And Flo Milli just seems to like, yeah, like kind of like we didn't talk about these, kind of like City Girls. I feel like that's why City Girls, and also I just brought this question up in my head. I was thinking who outside of Megan, like who do I think secondly or next had the most like successful year? And City Girls had a crazy motherfucking.
Well, JT got out this year, right?
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying that. Like,
yeah,
City, and I don't think we mentioned them as far as like lady rappers that we wanted to talk about, but like I fucking love me some motherfucking City girls. And at the same time with Flo Milli, I don't think there's another like group or two women that are more authentic as City girls.
Yeah.
Especially JT.
Very true to themselves.
JT.
Very true to
over
themselves.
here tweeting about how she used to listen to Ariana Grande when she was in jail to calm her. And then Ariana Grande be tweeting that shit with the heart emoji. It's like, do you know how long I've just been waiting for that energy from a woman? Like, you know what I'm saying? These niggas be out here making you laugh, like Freddie and 21 and all these niggas that are like very honest, you know, about their background and stuff like that and turn it into a joke. I've been waiting for like women to kind of lean into and kind of do it. But like, yeah, niggas have taken L's, niggas have fucked up, niggas have dropped bags, gotten bags, whatever the fuck. Like, I'm a human just like everyone else. And I feel like there's such a pressure on female rappers to be like perfect, not just aesthetically, but also like personality-wise, which is why I don't feel like we see much of that. But I really appreciate bitches like Flo Milli and like JT, dog, that are just like so themselves and just like unapologetically authentic. And we need more of that, you know what I'm saying? I listen to these bitches that is like, even the shit I don't relate to, I'm just like, yeah, I feel you. I just have the shit that I would be on, but
it's like, I'm never going to jail, but I feel you. Yeah, exactly.
But if I were you, I see why you would.
Exactly.
And now I'm about to listen to myself more because niggas got me fucked up too. Like, oh my God. So no, before we go speak about anybody else, I gotta give City Girls my shout out because especially JT, baby. That's
we are going with like quote unquote the industry back, and that's not a diss, right? That's not
Never.
a diss towards anyone, because that's actually what you should be doing. You should be using the industry to back you up, and you should be using it to your advantage, which I think Meg has done. I think to a certain extent, the City Girls have done that really well too.
For sure.
And like they've used the things that should have hurt them in the industry to their advantage.
Right.
Which is very, very like amazing to watch.
And you know who I really think did that, and also kind of like, even if it wasn't intentionally, took a break and kind of like let everyone else do that, was Cardi B. Like, and everyone kind of hated for a while. That was Cardi B's whole thing. It was like the fucked up teeth, the on loving hip hop, the fighting bitches going to court for it, having a cheating ass baby daddy who I married, had a like baby that I was hiding. Like, that was so much her. Was that not her whole?
That was her lane. And I think,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we haven't seen as much as Cardi because she just had like, you know, all this marriage stuff, and she's raising Culture. Is their child's name? Mm-hmm. Yeah, like, so like she's busy. You know,
very, you know what I'm saying? And she got the Pepsi endorsements, the whatever endorsements, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's at the point to where she kind of taps into music for fun. And I'm not knocking it, but as far as like how her career even like rolled out to us, like it was very much that. And I think even if people aren't trying to be the next Cardi B or aren't comparing themselves to Cardi B, I feel like that was something that was a lane that Cardi B definitely started, because that was not necessarily Nicki Minaj's lane.
She built an empire very differently than Nicki. Nicki wanted to. Okay,
Barbie.
I'm not going to speak. Yeah, Nicki wanted to
Barbie.
rap.
It was literally she wanted to rap her ass off, but also was like, I'm a Barbie. I'm literal perfection. Try me if you want to. I'm going to drag you. You know what I'm saying? Like the literal opposite, which I respected, and we needed that. We needed a black woman to be out here rapping their ass off next to all these niggas and be like, you can't fucking touch me. We needed that.
It's different lanes.
Yeah, right. But I feel like we also kind of needed somebody more relatable, more understandable, more like, I'm humane. I fuck up. You know?
And Cardi's also this year taken a much more active political role, much more in the, again, it's a different lane than I think just rap music, right? That she's decided to sort of make her focus this year. Right. She did a lot of campaigning for Bernie, I remember. She was like...
She did. She campaigned her ass off for Bernie.
I was like, her and Bernie Sanders were sitting on Twitter having a live chat.
FaceTime? Right.
It was very like, wow, this is really interesting. Like,
right.
But it's further showing like how much range women have in hip hop and how much they've pushed forward, and you wouldn't necessarily expect that in a lot of ways, right? 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and maybe even if it would happen, you wouldn't expect it. Now it's like, of course that's happening, because Cardi built this empire that she can sort of move vertically across whenever she wants to.
And it's like, we are at the end of the day, black women being we. Like, black women are like the pinnacle and the inspiration of pop culture. Like, we just are, you know, and it's been something that was copied and duplicated for such a long time. So now now it's like a no-brainer. But I mean, it's a no-brainer because like now people are actually monetizing off of it and are making it more of a brand than it was before. But it's black women over here like, hey, all these white bitches is getting lit and famous off our shit. Can we do that? And like, there wasn't a lane to where I feel like that was allowed to happen until all these women kind of started coming up. Like somebody that I feel like is dominated and taken over, not just like the rap industry, but like every other sponsorship industry, social media game, like any pop culture lane has been like Sweetie. And
that's exactly what I was going with this.
Right. Yeah. And although I don't feel like her music is something.
We're going to keep it real on this podcast. We don't like her music, and that's okay. But we still respect her. And we respect her hustle, and we think what she's doing is amazing, right?
Right.
Because she's like, I don't have to be the best rapper. I'm going to use rap as a platform to get off all this other shit.
Right.
And it's all this other shit is immaculate, so you'll love me anyways. Right? And that's okay.
Right. It's great. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, I respected how many lanes she was able to, like, penetrate, honestly. Like, when this bitch is over here eating seafood, doing ASMR YouTube videos, I was like, my bitch! Like, how did she... Why? How? For what?
And then,
but
like,
why
that
not?
whole Beyonce costume thing, like, for Halloween recently, like...
She killed that.
It's amazing, right? Because there's... other women of all different types of colors who do the same shit that Saweetie does, and they get famous for no reason. So why shouldn't she be just as famous, you know?
Okay. Why shouldn't Black women just be able to be lit and be famous off being fucking lit?
And she's doing it in such a smart way, right? She uses the music strategically, just like a lot of rappers do, just like, you know, a Travis Scott might, or someone else, right? Who has music and then parlays it into other stuff and doesn't necessarily always focus on the music first.
Right.
Again, I sound like a Travis Scott hater. I'm not. I promise y'all, I swear. I like Travis Scott. I just don't like his rapping. Anyways. But
I'm still dying at him deleting his Instagram because niggas called him a roach for his Halloween costume. That's completely off subject.
Yeah, that was But my point is about Saweetie is the same thing, right? She's in that same kind of lane as JT and Meg and Cardi, but has gone a slightly different way. Yeah,
for sure. I mean, she's definitely, you know, and I'm not blaming it solely on this or knocking her for it, but like she's definitely with the bag lane. And honestly, I expected this from somebody like Saweetie, if you know her background, you know, like she's kind of been raised in this industry and in this area, like Gabrielle Union is her literal cousin. And I mean, you know, so it makes sense that, you know, she was like, no, I'm really going to do this and turn this into a business.
That's a very attractive family.
Facts. Have you seen her parents? Her mom and her dad. Oh my God.
That's a very attractive family.
They're all just gorgeous. Like, it's something in the water in California. Like, it just...
Clearly.
I don't know what it is. It's because they're not drinking the water in California. They're drinking, like, mineral water.
Yeah, they got the osmosis machine.
Like, you know what I'm saying? The uteruses of, like... Anyway. Sorry, I'm done.
But but it's been cool, right? And I think there's that lane of rap which is growing. But like we alluded to earlier in the episode, every lane of rap is now completely open and being dominated by women, specifically Black women. One of and of course it should be one of the best projects I think this year was Chica's project. Chica had I believe it was called Industry Games, and it was like an EP of like 6 or 7 songs.
Yeah, it was very short.
Yeah, and it was just so masterfully crafted, right? And it was just, Chica is known for like her Twitter videos, and like that's how she got like famous. Like she had Twitter videos of just her rapping, and I think that that's how I found out about her at least. And now she's just this like powerhouse who's putting out like very complete, very mature projects. She comes for everyone on Twitter that comes for her, and it's actually really good to see, right? The way she addresses like people like sort of coming at her, and she's like, nah, I'm not here to take this shit, I'm here to rap.
Right.
And she's created this lane, I think, for herself to be successful for a very, very long time. And to see that like lane of quote unquote like I'll call it like middle class rap, like the Little Brothers of the world, like things like where it's like, hey, we rap really well, we release projects consistently, everyone who knows rap knows about us. To see her dominate that lane, I think is really cool, like going forward. And she might grow up much bigger than that, but that's where she's at right now.
Yeah, I agree. And she's another one that like when I really started paying the most attention to, not the most attention to her, because she's somebody else that I discovered through her Twitter videos. But after like listening to Industry Games and like a lot of her promotion and stuff like that, and I want to say there were like 2 Netflix original movies that I literally saw her in, like just acting.
Oh, she's in her acting bag too?
Randomly, like one of them I might be mistaken, but I don't think I'm not. It's one of the Netflix original movies that has Jamie Foxx in it, and he's like he ends up subsequently taking care of this one Black girl who's in this really popular HBO show, The Deuce, that I really fuck with. But her best friend, so it's like his new adopted daughter, like her best friend, her comedic relief best friend in the whole fucking movie is Chica. Like, So I would see her, and I'm like, is that Chica? That is not Chica. That is not Chica. Like, puts blunt down, and it was Chica. It was Chica. She's a very
Project Power.
Project Power, yeah, the Jamie Foxx movie. Phenomenal movie, by the way. I just watched it in passing while I was parking, thinking it was going to be anything. Great movie. Like, the plot definitely takes you there. But yeah, Chica just randomly pops up in this Jamie Foxx movie that I'm watching. And mind you, I'm listening to her project like 2 days prior. I'm like, okay. And I just lean back. I'm like, this is how you kind of, again, like we kind of talked about earlier, this is how you like work the industry for your benefit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you being industry backed, industry signed doesn't have to be an issue. It doesn't have to be a problem. You know, just don't sign a shitty contract and work that to your advantage. And Chica is somebody that I felt did that really, really well this year. Comparably, like what reminded me so much of this project was Tierra Whack's Whack World, which was like, what, 2017?
Yeah, that was
But that was such a short project that was so beautifully crafted and given to us. Like, and it was completely industry backed. Like, she had the budget to do whatever the fuck she want. And Tierra Whack is flat out one of my favorite rappers. Probably gonna get to her later. Or now.
I'm about to say, let's get to her. Let's get to her now,
you know
right?
what I'm saying? But that's what this Chica project, Industry Games, really reminded me of. It's like, oh, this bitch got a team that really knows her, that really sees her, that really fucks with her. She's about to sweep us. And not just musically. Again, like, this bitch is popping up in Netflix original movies, acting her ass off. Like,
speaking of Tierra Whack, she released a track like 5 days ago called Dora, which was pretty damn good. And it's the first we've heard from her in a while. I think about a year, actually.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see her come back. And she recently claimed like she's like the new young goat out of Philly. It's nice to see her talk her shit on Twitter as well, you know?
You know, and I miss her so much. Like, and yeah, this is probably like I want to say the first thing she dropped in 2020, because she kind of went, and I mean, Whack World came out in like 2017, 2018. It came out in 2018. And I remember 2019, she was just dropping a series of singles.
Yeah, she's like Only Child, Clones, Gloria, Wasteland.
And Gloria is still one of my favorite motherfucking songs from her. Like, yeah. I just need them and like Dora was fucking great, and I love how Baby Mother tweeted like, Dora is like the best song to come out in like forever. Like, I saw her tweet like, it's like best song to come out forever. Like, it's the one thing that really got me wanting to do this rap shit or whatever the fuck. And I was like, true. I'm glad you listen to these other rap bitches and like, you know.
Which is, you know, surprising from Baby Mother, to be honest.
You know what I'm saying? And not be honest, but to be open about her, how she truly feels. Like, nah, fuck with this bitch. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just surprised Baby Mother listens to other rappers. You know what I'm saying? I felt like she would come out and be like, nah, I don't listen to no rap. I just rap, and I just rap better than y'all. And then like, go away.
That would be hilarious. That would be her trolling, and that's something that I feel like she would do. But no, I respect it, because she talks about it and references it in her music, like the people that she fucks with. But I like that she's like, nah, this bitch is lit though. Like, when people were trying to like compare her to like why she should have been on Double XL, loads of people comparing her like, why is Mulatto lit? Baby Mother's not lit. She's like, what? Suck my dick. Mulatto's lit. Like, period. And I respect the fact that rappers like that are like doing that and not like just taking out all this shade, which really used to happen. But yeah, I really enjoy Dora, and I really enjoy the playfulness of Tierra Whack. It's one of my favorite things about her. I love her ad-libs. I love like the voices and the different like tones and stuff that she uses. I like how childlike her beat selection can get sometimes. That was probably the only thing that threw me off with this.
It's so interesting, right? Because so many people acknowledge her as being so dope. It makes me think that they've heard something we haven't. Not that what we have heard isn't dope, but like, she's getting recognition from people that you're like, huh, what tracks is she sending around that she's not releasing?
Oh, facts.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you have in the vault that like Meek is excited about you, all the way to Baby Mother's excited about you?
And I knew that was the thing. When she was collaborating with Flying Lotus, when Flying Lotus was about to drop his last album that he hadn't dropped in like 5-6 fucking years, and he was like begging Tierra Whack to come through and make music or whatever the fuck. And then when he dropped his album, she was like doing a chorus, like being silly in the background. There was no bars, and all he talked about was how his favorite collaboration that he's had in years was with Tierra Whack.
There's something going on there's something going on that there's not, like, I'm not sure if this is like a pseudo Jay Electronica situation or something like that, like, but it's just weird, right? Because you would think we would have heard a more substantial project from her by now with all the hype she's getting. Yeah. And this is not a bad thing, but it's
they're about to slap us in our face though. That's all it is. And I think I put it on Twitter because I asked in preparation for this episode, just niggas on the Instagram, follow my Instagram, Breezy taught me. I do a lot of like polls and stuff before we record our episodes. So I'm like, who are y'all favorite female rappers, just in case I missed anybody and stuff like that. And And I literally put like, and one person put like Tiara, I fuck with Tiara. Oh, my old roommate, shout out to him, my old white roommate that I put on the Tiara way. She's like, nah, Tiara's my favorite rapper. And I was like, facts, I cannot wait for her to snatch our fucking wig caps off. Like, it's happening, it's coming. And I just feel like another, you know, maybe quote unquote downside, depending on how you look at it, you know, to be
there's something going there.
Is like not being able to release whenever the fuck you want to.
I don't. Yeah, there's something going on there. But you mentioned, and we both mentioned, Baby Mother. We've talked about her before on this podcast. She's pseudo-retired this year, but she's pseudo-retired with an amazing album. Yeah. Once again, she, and I mentioned this before, she occupies the Bone Thugs, 3-6 Mafia, horrorcore aspect of rap better than most people have in the last 5 to 6 years, right? In a way that's tasteful, in a way that I want to actually hear in 2020. And I really hope she's not done for good. I'm not going to rehash too much of what we said, but like, I really hope she's not done for good, because that album, if you're looking for that kind of rap in 2020 in a way that's not corny, in a way that's not that dude from GameStop who's rapping and being interviewed by Drewski right now. You know who I'm talking about? I'm going to find you, nigga! That nigga. Yeah. If you're looking for something that's not that, but it's horrorcore, like Baby Mother is the right person. You know what I'm saying? Someone who can do that well, not that.
And I mean, pseudo retired for sure, because I think I did mention on the last episode that she had hinted at dropping a project on Halloween, and she did. And again, what I think also what I said in the last episode, I think she was going to do was kind of get more into like physical releases, secret releases. You have to like be following my like Gmail to get this link. And guess what she did on Halloween is she dropped this project. It was like at least a 6-7 song project. But you had to like crack the code, and she literally dropped like a fable or some shit on Instagram. I think she tweeted it too. And you had to crack it. And if you cracked it correctly, and you literally had to enter a code into the website to get the project.
Is it still around, or is it gone now?
It's sold out. She only had, I want to say 250. She had 250, I want to say. And so
she's doing the Doom thing.
She's doing the Doom, the Nipsey Hussle, like she's doing that. She's doing that. And I mean, it's Halloween. I was like damn near blacked out on Halloween. So I like missed the whole drop. But like, yeah, and she said, like, I'm still, and she said, I'm not quitting releasing music. I'm just not about to do it in this way that these niggas keep trying to make me. Like,
so this is actually really interesting, because that's, again, something that, like, I know we all hate this term at this podcast, but the lo-fi underground people do, right? Yeah. Like fucking Mac Hami and Yoro Droog and these people all from, like, New York pretty much, who like release music and they're like, I'm gonna charge $300 for my vinyl, and you have to like bid on it to get it. And to see her beginning to occupy that space, that's the right place for her to be.
It's the right place for her to be. And that's what she said. And she said, like, I'm not quitting music. I'm just about to do this shit differently, because I cannot play this game. This game is not meant for me. I'm the type of bitch that'll suck that dick and take it. I'm not. So I'm about to, for real. And she said, like, I'm gonna do this now. You can fuck with it or you can't fuck with it. If you don't fuck with it, I sell candles. But from now on, this is how you consume my music. And like, if it were anyone else,
does she actually sell candles?
She's getting there. Yeah, I mean, she sells. She has her own.
I buy a candle from her.
She has her own apothecary. So she sells like oils. Yeah, she sells oils and body butters and soaps, and like her twins' birthday was like a week or two ago, so she just dropped this line of dedicated to her daughter. Her daughter helped her. She just bought her own storefront. Like, yeah, like and this started quarantine, actually. When quarantine started and she couldn't tour and stuff anymore, she started selling the stuff that she was making homemade, made like a bootleg ass site, super shitty. It kept crashing like every other day because everything was selling out. I swear to God, I ordered some products from her. I just ordered some oils and like, so there's regular oils, body oils, but also with her like spooky witchy shit. She has like anointing oils and oils for like seances and prayers and moon cycles and astrology. No, I mean, it's not all like that. Like,
I know, but
she started selling crystals and candles. So I definitely got some body oils from her in April. Definitely waiting for them to come still, and I'm not knocking it. But
yeah, her occupying that space, that Doom space, that like Mac Hami space, that's the right place for her to be. And I think she's gonna be very successful and like be that underground legend that like so many people want her to be there.
I think so too. Like I was like smacked the shit thinking about it one day. I was just like, yo, she's about to become my like female equivalent version of like MF Doom.
Yeah.
Like that's where she's going, and it just makes sense. It makes sense, and I'm so here for it.
Speaking of underground legends, well, okay, maybe not legends yet, but I think, in my opinion, Brittany Carter, who I've mentioned on this podcast on the second episode, when she first released as a SoundCloud exclusive, like I mentioned at the end, I'm like, hey, this is what I listened to on SoundCloud this week, Side A, Side B by Brittany Carter, right? Mm-hmm. And that was like literally the second episode of this podcast. This week, or last week rather, she released her first album, As I Am, mm-hmm. right? She's had like smaller projects in between. She's from Chicago. She's quote unquote underground, but she's like blown up all the way on Twitter. She's like, once again, if you know what rap, you know who Brittany Carter is. Like, she's made her way around all the big hip hop Twitter accounts. She's done all the things you need to do. She's been on Lyrical Lemonade. She's had the viral videos of her rapping. She finally released this project, which I've been waiting on for so damn long. So long. I'm just like, release the project. I'm just like, come on, please. Like, because I've just been like, every time she releases a snippet, I've just been so excited. Mm-hmm. And she did not disappoint. At all. It was like everything that Backpack Mayron wanted. I'm so happy for her, and like I want her to succeed so much. And it's been so cool to watch her grow, and it's been so cool to see like a woman from Chicago, a black woman from Chicago, take this space that like so many other rappers sort of left for dead, and like sort of like left there, this backpack space, and they just didn't do a good job of honoring. And to take the space of like being a God-fearing rapper that can actually rap. Sorry, Chance. Like, she's like, hey, I believe in God. I'm very much a believer in Christ, and Christ has saved me. And she can rap in a non-corny way, which I appreciate so much as someone who also believes in God, right? Like, that shit was inspiring to listen to on so many levels. Because not only just the backpack, not only just believing in God, but to put it together in a way, again, in 2020 that you actually want to hear, right? Because a lot of rappers rap about all these things, right? Mm-hmm. But it's about finding someone whose sound actually matches the time. And that's what Brittany Carter had.
It was such a word. Like, it was such a deliverance. I was just listening to her like, almost like it's church. And I was like, you know, for the God and Jesus and religion references that he has, like, I wonder if this is purposeful. Like, she would just say shit like, yes.
Exactly, right?
My biggest criticism about this project is that it's only 20 minutes. Like, it's so short. It's so short. But those are my favorite projects. And that happened with Tom Misha's project that he did with Yusuf. It's just like that I can listen to it 2-3 times before I realize, like, damn, I've heard this song twice already. That is this project. Like, I just listen to it over and over and over and over again. Like,
it just makes me so happy for her, and it makes me so happy to listen to. And yeah, I also want to give a shout out to Miss Cam from Baltimore, who's also been releasing music a lot recently. And her stuff is, what's interesting is she's a mix of a lot of the rappers we've been talking about. She can take sort of the industry side where she does like these wonderful covers of Missy Elliott and stuff like that. She has like a whole series. And she can also do the whole lyrical miracle thing like Brittany does. And it's really good to see someone out of Baltimore doing that shit. And she's from I believe she's from the west side of Baltimore. Shouts to the village. Hey. And I didn't want to forget her in this episode, so I'm mentioning her now because like every time I see her perform, every time I see her rap, every time I see her on Twitter, it's nothing but love, and it's always good music. So just I can't not mention her.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Well, who I wanted to mention after this, talking about just not being corny.
Transition.
Yeah, transition. Just, you know, as far as just like not being corny, being so themselves and like doing it in a way that's not corny, which I want to say worried about, but just like, I wonder how this is going to shake is Armani Caesar. Her being the first lady to drop from Griselda. I was kind of worried for a second. Like, I hope this is not where the niggas bam and just have this champ ass New York bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like praying, like, please, Lord, please, don't let it not be this. And like, you know, when she dropped Liz, I was happily.
That shit was amazing. It was from the visuals all the way to her stuff, you know?
Phenomenal. I love the skits and everything. I think it's hilarious. I love that, like, every time I'm on the phone and I'm playing this album in the background, I was talking to Nelly on the phone, and this album was playing in the background, and all you hear is like, and then Lee was like, oh my God, oh, what are you watching? Do you want me to call you back? I was like, no. I'm listening. It's music. I'm listening to it out.
It's music.
It's like, that's what it is. It's just a skit. She's like, who the fuck is that? What? That's some Biggie shit. I'm like, no, it's actually, it's a woman. Somebody sees her. She's like, oh, she a freak. But anyway, but like, I loved how, I hate using this word because I feel like I used it 10 times already, but like, I loved how authentic,
she has the Griselda authenticism, right? Which is different.
Yeah.
Which is different, right? It's
so
different levels. There's levels to being authentic. And she has the Griselda stamp, seal, and approval.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a real nigga. Like, I will shoot you. And
that authenticism is different. Authenticity.
Yeah.
I will also say, I think she has the album artwork of the year. Like, the third eye, the woman, like, staring at you. Just the strikingness of it, like, the high collar. Like, I really like her album artwork. And I think it was tastefully done and well placed. And like, in order to rap with Benny, like in order to be in a place where you're rapping with Benny, where you're rapping with Conway, to have like the things you need to like have a West Side Gun production, to have all that stamped off, you have to be legit.
Right.
And so she lived up to every single person in that group's expectations, and thus she's always going to surpass ours. You
Facts.
know?
Yeah. No, I agree. And what I like even more is that like with all the features that she had, because I mean she had everyone on Griselda on this project. All of my favorite songs of hers are the ones that are just her. I love her beat selection. I love basically from Drill-A-Rama down. Simply Done I can do with or without. I mean I like it, but Drill-A-Rama, the Young Gun, the Palm Angels, the Ginger Rothstein, and Monty Moose Freestyle. Monty Moose Freestyle I play at least twice a day. Love the beat. And if it's actually a freestyle, I love this bitch.
Yeah, man. I think like every single song. I played that album like 3 times. I didn't find a song I didn't like on it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like I wasn't there, and it met the Griselda standard for sure. And I think that's a big stamp of approval for anyone.
It is, especially for how many albums and projects that Griselda has dropped. For this to still be in like my top 3 is a big deal. It's a huge deal, and like I definitely want to commend her for that. Like she kind of is in my top 3 right now, just alone because. I
mean, especially, and if she starts producing at the same clip as say a Benny, like where she's putting out 3 albums a year, like she gonna be one of the top MCs in the game. Period. Right? Because like that's what Benny and all of them did. They're just like, all right, here we're gonna give you 1 album, then we're gonna give you another one, we're gonna give you another one, and I can't imagine if Armani Caesar starts doing that. Like it's gonna destroy the game, like entirely. Speaking of Buffalo, though, Shay Noir and Apollo Brown releases God Intended. Yeah. That's one of the most solid projects of the year. Yeah. That is like the quote unquote underground project of the year. Like,
but it's so great. It's so perfect.
All the little hip hop heads, like Hip Hop Golden Age and everybody like that. This is the album that you want. Like, okay, like this is the album that you can like hold up and be like, yeah, this is what like rap should be and where it should go. But again, it's done in a way that you want to hear it in 2020.
And she's still rapping her ass off. I mean, yeah, that everything you said is like facts. Because I mean, she has a song with Black Soul and Black Thought. So
exactly.
Any question about but Worth Gold is one of my favorite songs to come out this year. I play Worth Gold over and over and over again. I love 94, and I like her storytelling. She kind of reminded me of a Rhapsody in certain ways with the way she kind of like.
Very similar. She's very similar.
Her storytelling really, like Daddy's Girl, could easily, and not in a weird or shady way, but Daddy's Girl could have easily been a Rhapsody song in my mind. Like it
very
was
much so.
Like
right?
Yeah, like, and like I don't think that's a bad thing. I love Rhapsody, so like that's what this album gave me.
And there's room for 2, right?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. I was like, oh, these conscious bitches, give it to me. Yeah,
like there's room for more than one rapper who occupies that like lyrical lane, and I feel like Shay Noir is a perfect like counter to Rhapsody in the sense that like having the 2 of them like balances each other's out. It gives you like a range of people to listen to in that lane, and I'm really excited for like her next project and her project after. Personally, my favorite is like Hustle Don't Give, which does feature the Black Thought, or does feature Black Thought on that album. I really liked it, and like Apollo Brown's production is amazing. The whole like one album, one rapper thing just works so well, and I think more.
And it's worked so well for so many rappers that have done. Like so many rappers have dropped like a one producer. Like Alchemist has been working his ass off. Harry Friday's been working his ass off. Like niggas have been fucking moving. And I would like more of it.
Exactly. I want more rappers to do it because it just creates a better sound, right?
It does.
And it makes me believe that you actually care about the project too, right? Because it forces you to have a theme. It forces two creative minds to look over everything. It makes everything cohesive, to use the word that's overused by everyone. But it's true. That's what having one producer does. But hey, so there's a couple other people we wanted to shout out. Is there anything you wanted to get to before I started shouting people out?
I'm probably gonna hate myself later, but not that I can think of.
Well, we got some time because there are a couple people. So like Lil Sims released a project earlier this year. Lil Sims from the UK. I don't like a lot of UK rappers, but I really like Lil Sims.
She's dope. She's very.
I really like Lil Sims. Like she Drop 6 was just this album that was done, I think, and if she could tour it, it would be a lot more successful. I think Americans need to hear it live in a lot of ways, right? And I think because Americans don't know who Little Sims is to a certain extent, if she was touring it, she would be a bigger deal in the States right now. But there are songs in there like "Where's My Lighter?" "You Should Call My Mom." It's only like a five track project, but everything. And then there's another person, Sarak, Sharecropper's daughter. Just an amazing album. You talk about the South, you talk about like lyrical woman from the South, you got to talk about Rhapsody, but you also have to mention Sarak in that category. You talk about storytelling. She tells amazing stories throughout this album. It's sort of a history lesson as well, so go listen to that if you haven't heard that. What else? I think that's all the people that I wanted to shout out that I've listened to. There are people on like my list that I haven't listened to yet, so I haven't talked about Chino G to whomever it concerns, because I haven't listened to her yet. Lyric Jones, Closer Than They Appear, haven't listened to her yet either, but those are next two up on my list, so please don't come at me mad for those kind of things, because I'm going to listen to them. They're on my list. Did you want to talk about Mulatto at all? Because we didn't really talk about her.
Oh, I mean, Mulatto's cool.
She's cool. That's a good way to describe her.
Yep. All the jokes about her being a white woman on Twitter and Instagram is hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. And also, I don't like your name, but it's okay.
I don't really.
I hate your name either. I hate your name. People are like, it's not problematic. It is. I mean, you cannot have a problem with it, but to say it's not problematic is incorrect. But other than that, she's cool. Fuck with her.
She's cool. Anybody else?
Nah. Nah. I'm trying to think. No.
I mean, we did cover a lot of ground.
We did. I think we did well. I like this episode.
Yeah, we covered a lot of ground. All right. Well, in that case, please feel free to tell us in the comments who we missed, who we got wrong, who we didn't talk about. We always love to hear new music. We're not one of these gatekeepers who are like, yeah, we know everything and we listen to everything. It's like, no.
We're not elitist like Dave.
Yeah, we're not elitist like Dave.
He admitted to being an elitist on Twitter, so it's not me.
So it's okay. It's okay.
But yeah, follow us on all the socials. A Hip Hop Podcast on Twitter. Follow us, Another Hip Hop Podcast on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram, Breezy Taught Me. Follow Mayron on Instagram. Patrick?
No, Noise and Spirit, because J.K.
Noise
Rowling.
and Spirit.
Yeah, J.K. Rowling hates
yes.
people, apparently.
Yeah.
And I can't endorse that series anymore. Which, it sucks, but it's fine.
And now it's like, because I mentioned before, I haven't seen any of the Harry Potter movies.
Now you don't need to.
And that's the kill. It's like, damn, do I even give a fuck?
You don't need to, because it's no longer worth it. Yeah.
Came and went. That sucks, man. I feel like I missed a part of culture that it was soon to disintegrate, but it's just like right now I just have to be alone. That's okay.
Hey, authors and musicians too, don't mess up your careers. Just let it be, Like, if you hate,
learn to shut the fuck up.
Exactly.
Shut the fuck up. Really, shut the fuck up.
A lot of rappers could benefit a lot.
Period. I was about to say, I don't want to go on this like tangent right now, like T.I., Lil Wayne, Ice Cube ass niggas. I just need to shut the fuck up. But shut the fuck up. I'm tired of you. Shut the fuck up. I don't care if it's too late now because it is election day. Shut the fuck up.
There's no reason to talk about things you don't know about.
Period.
When you have the resources to find out. Right? And all of you have the resources to find out because we have the wonderful internet right at our fingertips.
I'm gonna pluck y'all niggas in y'all forehead.
Oh, wait. Before we go, I do want to talk about one thing. No Name has had a hell of a year. And when we talking about, again, women rappers, she's released a couple songs and they've all been fire, right?
Mhm.
So like that song, I think 33, she came back in a way that I hadn't anticipated. But her transition to like full-on activist, full-on book club, runner, full-on like, hey, I'm here for the cause and I'm willing to give up my social capital, my economic capital, and my body all for this shit, is the example we should all strive to be, right?
Period.
And so like, if you're looking for, we've used the word authenticity a lot this episode. We've used the word
because it matters.
It does matter. We've used it a lot, and there's no one who's a better example of being authentic to the cause and authentic to who they are other than No Name. When she's like, I want to rap, she'll rap, and when she doesn't want to, she won't. And when she feels like she needs to address something on Twitter, she will. And when she feels like she needs to address the most powerful people in her genre, where she needs to talk to the J. Cole or she needs to talk to whoever, she doesn't back down. And I think that deserves recognition, and like it's not easy to do. Right? It's not easy to go to the Giants and be like, nah, you're fucked up. This is fucked up. The whole thing's fucked up.
I just want niggas to do their Googles before they start talking shit. Because, I mean, this relates to No Name in particular because I was chilling with a leg or whatever. They're like, oh, I don't give a fuck. They were like, oh, I hate No Name. She just be on Twitter. I don't know why she came at J. Cole like that. And because I was playing, and I'm like, this is probably my favorite No Name song. Even before I played it, I was about to play my favorite No Name song with this Montego Bay. And it's like, oh, No Name. Like, how can she even come at these rappers? She doesn't even rap herself.
Wow.
No, swear to God. I was like, record scratch. It was like,
what do you mean?
Did you not hear me when I said this in my favorite No Name song? Like, and he was like, oh, she rap? I just thought she was a Twitter ass nigga. I was like, are you kidding me? He's like, I just thought she was a Twitter ass nigga telling niggas to read books. Like, are you serious? Are you
Even
really
if that
serious?
was the case, why is it reading books?
Right, okay, no, thank you. What's the problem with that? The fact that there's a black bitch on Twitter telling you to read books. But number two, she fucking makes music, you fucking dick. Like, what are you talking about? Just do your Googles. Just Google. It's on your phone. It's on your computer. Like, Google. Google things. Google people. I Google people all the time. It's not creepy. I do it all the time.
It's fine to not know.
You don't want to embarrass yourself in front of some potential butt. And that's what happened. So don't do that. Okay?
Don't want to be a missing leg, yo.
Stupid.
All right.
I'm an amputee now, so it doesn't matter.
Oh my God. This metaphor. I don't know how you guys got this metaphor.
I just made it up. I literally just made it up. I was like, I'm an amputee. Just don't talk to me.
Man, I'm so glad I am not on the market in this COVID era.
It's a crazy, sick game out here. But
Sounds like a mess.
I'm a sinister ass nigga, so let the games begin. The fuck?
Y'all heard it here first. Don't slide in my DMs asking about Bria, because some of y'all have, and I'm just like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, I do a podcast with her. Like,
no, it's
not.
No,
you don't want these problems unless you really want those problems, you know.
And even when you think you do, maybe you don't.
But we're gonna leave y'all with that. Peace and love, y'all.